claws hard at the stone. There's rust in the rails and ghosts in the wind from the days when the port had grown. Ironstone loaded by hand and rope, bound for the furnaces bright, to feed the fire on Teesside shore where the sky burned red at night. Steamers waited in the swell below, hull against harbour wall, and one young sailor with time to spare would wonder when the tide ran low. While others drank in the cliff-top inn or cursed at the loading pace, he'd walk the shale with a quiet grin, scanning the iron-red face.
The suggested equipment at this location is as follows: 1 pick, 1 geological hammer, geological chisels, goggles or safety specs, a pair of gloves, boots with good grips, and some specimen bags for your finds. So we're down at Port Mulgrave today. We just made our way down the slippery muddy path and we're just going to head just over there in that bay and see what we can find today.
The geology at Port Mulgrave covers the Jurassic rocks of the Lias Group. At the top of the cliff, the Whitby Mudstone Formation covers the Alum Shale Member, the Musgrave Shale Member, and the Grey Shale Member. The lower part of the cliff covers the Cleveland Ironstone Formation with the Kettle Nest Member and the Penny Nab Member.
I don't know if you can see, there's a small one in there. I'm pretty sure that one's not complete. If I turn it over, I've chipped a little bit away and there's one in there. So I'm hoping that this one is complete when I come to prepping it. It. So as you can see, we found a few things already. This is obviously quite a worn ammonite. We're literally just onto the beach. At least it's not so cold today. Yesterday it tried to snow. Very, very windy, but it's good that the wind has eased today.
section. It's just a worn deck. So what you need to look out for is these nodules along this part of the coastline, and they look like this. They're sort of this colour. And the best ones are the more roundish ones. They're more likely to contain ammonites. But this one isn't a bad one, I think. We're just going to try and get it out. And unfortunately it's not as round as what I'd hoped. So I don't think there'll be nothing in here, but still. Yeah, nothing in that one. It looked promising, but unfortunately, once I dug it out, it didn't look promising. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking for the most common ammonite you can find, dacks. They're pretty much everywhere here. You can find them both in nodules and also loose. Search in the cove areas, particularly where there's a lot of shingle and pebbles, etc. I've just spotted one here. Not too bad, this one. And what's good about this is most of the prepping has been done by the sea, so it's literally just fallen out.
The most common ammonites you will find are Dactyloceras. There are two main species, Dactyloceras commune and Dactyloceras tenui costatum. The latter is easily identified by having finer ribs. So I gave this a little tap, this little nodule, and I could see on the outside that it wasn't actually quite complete, but still nonetheless it's still nice, a positive and a negative. So there's a little one in here that I've tried to get some rock off. I don't know where to carry on because it might damage it. So I might have a little ammonite in there.
So I've just spotted in this rock some pyritic bivalves. I just thought they looked quite nice really. I won't take it, it's just something I wanted to show you.
Oh, that's nice. That's a complete one. Well done. Port Mulgrave has a rich industrial history that transformed this quiet coastline in the mid-1800s. At its peak, it was a vital part of the Cleveland ironstone industry, with ore mined from the cliffs above and carried down to the harbour by a dramatic incline railway. A tunnel driven through the rock connected the mines to the loading stays, allowing wagons to pass directly through the headland to ships waiting in the North Sea. Wooden jetties once stretched out from the shore, exporting ironstone to fuel the booming steelworks of northern England. Though storms and coastal erosion eventually claimed much of the harbour, the surviving tunnel and scattered ruins remain powerful reminders of the industry and hard labour that once defined Port Mulgrave. So when you're looking at this location, Port Mulgrave, one thing you need to look out for is some jet, and it can often be found amongst the shingle. And I happen to have a tiny little piece I found down here a moment ago. It has been many years since we visited Port Mulgrave, but we always enjoy this location. At least they have built new steps, so using ropes is no longer needed. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe.